Welcome to the Depths of Erendorn monthly development log for February 2023. Throughout this video, we'll be looking through some of the work completed by each of the departments over the last month, as well as taking the time to summarise the effort needed to create a brand new online RPG. Let's get into it, starting with 3D modelling. It has been an exciting month for the Human Knight protective gear, as we see the sculpting process come to its conclusion. From the early blockout we saw last month, the team has added a variety of new details and plates to build out the armour, giving it an imposing silhouette. Some avian details have also been added to the piece to further enhance the bulky nature of the armour. Once the sculpt was complete, the team would start the retopology process to optimise the armour for the engine. This process, as we've seen before, will have the team create a low poly model that follows the shape of the armour but leaves the detail behind. Once this process is completed, the intricate details of the sculpted armour will be baked onto it. The team will finalise this process over the coming weeks and move on to texturing the model. February has been a productive month for the team working on Depths of Erendorn's client. Major improvements have come to the UI, with new enhancements coming to the combat and vendor user interface. New audio was also implemented into the engine, as interactables, UIs, and combat all get new types of feedback that will be vital to player interactions. Additionally, the team would spend some time making some quality of life improvements. An adventure summary will now let you know how you did during your travels, and health bar relevancy receive changes to bring more optimised gameplay to the engine. Finally, the movement has seen some improvements, bringing a more polished feel to the traversing of Erendorn's open world. The server team has been making several fixes to the code throughout the month. Entity rotation upon casting has been fixed, along with some abilities that have been causing server crashes. Additionally, an issue causing the wrong AI to be assigned has been dealt with, and entity location calculations have been improved. Finally, some improvements have been made to the open world dungeon lobbies, bringing more streamlined experience to the Depths of Erendorn. The animation team would start their month by completing some looting animations for the bipedal characters and the Zentrigal. The team would start with the bipedal character, as it's the less complex of the two. Once these were complete, the team would use the movement from the hips up and apply it to the Zentrigal. The main difference would come into the feet of the 8-legged character, which needed to move to follow the weight shift. 3 variations of this animation have been completed, so the character can pick up items from a range of heights. These will also be blended together within the engine using a blueprint, so no loot is out of reach for characters. The team would also work on some concepts for the spellcasters of Erendorn, creating several animations that portray the character moving in a sweeping motion as they cast an ability or spell. Although very similar in motion, subtle differences to these movement cycles could convey different spells being used. In the backhand sweep, the character appears to put more force through the motion. This could convey the power that the character is using to channel the ability, whereas the forehand motion appears much more casual. The team will continue to iterate on these movement cycles throughout the coming weeks. The VFX team would start the month by adding a quality of life improvement to the world border we saw through the latter part of January. Now, when approaching the mystical barrier, the player will encounter a white circle that grows at their nearest point of contact. This will provide feedback to the player that they will not be able to continue on their path. Once complete, this was added to the world border effect within the engine. Additionally, the team would work on an aura effect for the Twilight Elf Assassin. Using similar effects that we have seen in the elf's abilities, the team would also apply the colours we have come to see associated with the stealthy assassin. A spectrum of purples was applied to trail the elf as it cloaks towards its enemy. The team would also refine these visual effects throughout the month, creating a more refined aura that pulsates over the entire body of the model instead of originating at the feet. These more subtle animations are more in line with the elf's stealthy nature. As the effects have not been finalised by the team, they will continue to iterate them through the coming weeks until they are satisfied with the results. The sound team would start the month working on some cave audio that will accompany venturers through dungeons. This is a less complex method that will be utilised over the dynamic soundscape system the team have been having problems with. Using a combination of reverb and echo effects along with trickling and dripping water gives the players a sense of scale at the caves they are entering. The team would also go on to apply this audio into the engine, ready for gameplay. The team would also work on some idle audio for several enemies of Erendorn. The vampire bat, black bear, heavy husk beetle, jaguar and boar have all gotten some audio treatment throughout the month, breathing more life into the enemies of Erendorn. Although only a small piece of audio, these sounds will go a long way to giving a sense that all the enemies are living creatures. The environment team have been working on an update for the castle ruins throughout the month. Starting with the structure itself, the team have taken inspiration from Gothic architecture that exists within our world. In direct contrast to the ruins already implemented into the initial area, the team have built up this structure with an abundance of arches and pillars. The team utilised similar techniques they have used within the first ruins, the main of which is building a modular kit. Each of the pieces in this structure can be seamlessly put together, giving the team a lot of freedom as they build it up. Once the main bulk of the build has been finalised, it will go through an ageing process, eventually bringing us a new set of ruins for Erendorn's landscape. From the early edits we saw last month, the concept team has finalised a few pieces of art throughout of February. With these complete, a fully functioning palace is now visible and ready to be built. The opulent characteristics of the palace can be seen throughout all of these concepts, as the team has built up an immaculate space for Erendorn's elite to relax and unwind. Along with these relaxing areas, a kitchen has also been finalised. A stark contrast to the main areas of the palace, this kitchen is packed full of cooking utensils and stoves, all of which will be used to fulfil the banquets of the palace. That about does it for this video development log for February 2023. We hope you've enjoyed it. Much more work has been completed throughout the month that we could not fit into this summary. Following the link in the description will take you to the Depths of Erendorn website, where you can read about more of the work completed by the developers. Also, for daily updates, follow us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and Reddit, or join our Discord server. Have a good one, and we'll bring you more next month.